Hi, Allison here. If you saw the most recent video that I added before this one, you already know that I've recorded 2 videos in the same day based on the outfit I'm wearing. Do you want to see what my outfit looks like? Here's a quick insert. Okay, you saw my outfit of the day. Now let's talk about what this video is about. This video is part 2 of my layering series. In the last video, the first video where I talked about perfume layering, I talked about my favorite combinations of scented lotions and perfumes. In this one, I'm talking about my favorite combinations of perfume with perfume. So most of these are me layering 2 scents together, and then one is me layering 3 scents together. If you're interested in hearing about that, then stay tuned. Okay, so if you're a subscriber, you already know what type of videos I do. That's why you're subscribed, because you like those type of videos. What type of videos? You like perfume reviews, you like perfume collections, and you like perfume lists and rankings. Those are the type of perfume videos that I make. So if you're already subscribed, you're here because you love those. But if you love those and you're here, but you're not subscribed, then you should do something about that. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, so the next time I upload the type of video that you like, you'll get it on your news feed for YouTube. Okay, so perfume layering. It's a controversial thing, especially when you're mixing perfumes. Why, you may ask? It's because of chemistry. The thing is, most of us aren't specializing in chemistry, and not all of us even did well in those chemistry classes. You want to know what I got in chemistry? I got a D. That's why my major was English, and now my degree that I'm studying now is creative writing, because chemistry is not my expertise. But I know what smells good to me, and I know what I like. So that's why I don't mind mixing perfumes. But there are certain dangers in mixing perfumes. I have to mention that. Every perfume that you have, whether it's an alcohol perfume or a perfume oil, it required some understanding of chemistry to make that perfume. Not some understanding, it required a lot of understanding of chemistry. The chemistry that happens when you mix essential oils with absolutes, the chemistry that happens when you mix natural oils with synthetic oils, the chemistry that happens when you mix all the other stuff that perfumers mix that I know nothing about. So a lot of people kind of have either snobbery or hesitation or fear when it comes to mixing perfumes, because essentially you're mixing chemicals. With that in mind, if you want to play and dabble with mixing perfumes, you don't have to layer them on top of each other. If the idea of mixing chemicals kind of freaks you out, I layer my perfumes on top of each other, but I'm a daredevil. I'm also a prayer, so you know, maybe that helps too, even though the Bible says tempt you not the Lord. Okay, so I layer perfumes on top of each other, but you don't have to do that. If you want to combine scents, you can basically depend on the combination of how the sillage mixes when the perfume emanates from your body. So if you spray one on the left side of your neck and you spray one on the right side of your neck, as they evaporate from your body and mix together, you still get the same effect. You just may not get the effect of your 2 mixes improving the lasting power. That's the other reason that I mix perfumes, to improve the lasting power. So in the other video, I gave you some tips on how to consider combinations that you make up yourself. Here's some things to consider. What are your favorite note combinations? What are you trying to achieve with the perfume? I think those are the main things. What are your favorite note combinations, and what are you trying to achieve with the perfume? If you've been collecting perfume for a while, or you have been wearing perfume for a while, you already have an idea of what you like. For example, I love white florals mixed with yellow florals. I love white florals mixed with deep notes such as patchouli or vetiver or wood. So knowing that if I see 2 perfumes that on their own they're kind of blah, but I realize one is a white floral, one is a deep perfume, that might have patchouli in it, I'll go, I wonder how they'll smell together. Oh, another thing to consider when it comes to mixing perfume is investing in some note cards, or just taking the time to cut up some strips of paper to use as note cards. That way you'll spray perfume on one note card, spray perfume on another note card, hold them together, smell it, see if you like that combination, and that way you're not playing with combinations on your skin. Because one, again, some people may be afraid of mixing two different formulations on their skin. Two, if you end up with a stinker, you don't want to find out it's a stinker after you already put it on your skin. But if you know that both of those perfumes work well on your skin, but you want to see how they smell together, test them out on cards. But now, let me tell you my favorite combinations. First up, we have Prada Candy. Prada Candy on its own is a creamy, caramelly, powdery makeup-like smell. Kind of like a combination of that Barbie doll smell that some of us recognize, as well as like creamy caramel goodness. The caramel in here to me is not super candied, even though this is called Prada Candy. This one, even though I don't think any florals are mentioned in the note composition, this has kind of a florality to it. It might have iris in it. That might be where the powderiness is coming from, because Prada likes to use iris in their perfumes even if they don't list it. But on its own, the lasting power is not that great. It's not that great. And the sillage, it's okay. But when I layer it with its sister, Prada Candy Kiss, the combination increases the creaminess basically without making the powderiness too much and without making it overwhelming. The sillage on this improves. I've had people say, oh, you smell good when I wear this together. And the lasting power lasts a long time. The lasting power is great on this combination. Together, these two together last about 8 hours. Now, after 4 hours, the sillage has pretty much given up on itself. It's back to being a skin scent, at least to my nose. But the lasting power, all day. And the lasting power of these two together actually sticks to your clothes for days. So I mixed these two together, Prada Candy and Prada Candy Kiss, to improve or amp up that creamy sweetness, but to also amp up the lasting power and performance. One of my favorite perfumes, my top 2 perfume, could be number 1 if it lasted longer. Prada La Femme Intense. It combines Ylang Ylang with tuberose. Yes, and I love that combination. It's by Prada, but it doesn't last on me that long. Maybe me and Prada don't get along well as far as lasting power, but I love that smell, and I've been trying to think of ways to get Prada La Femme Intense to last longer, and I kind of have. I layer it on top of patchouli oil, and I think I mainly layer it on top of patchouli oil to make it last longer, but even still the sillage dies pretty quickly, around 3 hours. Giorgio Armani Sun de Joya. It has Ylang Ylang, but it also has coconut. So it's kind of like this creamy tropical smell. Ylang Ylang already has a tropical smell. And then Kim Kardashian's Signature Perfume from 2009. Pretty much a Gucci Bloom dupe without the greenness, but this came first. So really Gucci Bloom is a dupe of this with greenness. But basically this is a big white tuberose. And when I layer these two together, the sillage is crazy. The performance is crazy. And the smell is amazing. I get that tropical ylang ylang smell. I get that creamy, fleshy kernel tuberose smell. But then that coconut adds more creaminess, but a different type of creaminess. And it also adds more of that tropical smell. It makes you feel like you're on an expensive vacation. This combination does not remind you of going to Panama City Beach or Pensacola, Florida. When you wear this together, you feel like, oh, you're going to a resort, a tropical resort, an expensive one, where your room is overlooking the ocean, like your front door walks into the ocean. Basically, that type of expensive vacation. But I love this combination because 1, the smell is beautiful. 2, the performance is crazy. Again, the sillage and the lasting power are out of this world. And it's a compliment getter. I've gotten compliments. I've had people be like, what is that smell? And then I try to be humble and try to go, what is that? What is that? And then I get over it and I was like, it's me. And if people aren't sure, I'm like, here, smell the back of my arm, because I sprayed the back of my arm, and they end up being like, it's you. And I'm like, I told you it was me. Let's talk about another designer perfume that costs around $100 but doesn't last that long for a lot of people. What am I talking about? Black Opium. Super popular, super loved, borderline hated on perfume because of how much it's loved. And one of the other reasons people can hate on that perfume is because it doesn't last that long for it to be the price that it is. That doesn't necessarily mean that the quality of the ingredients are subpar. Sometimes certain fragrance oils just don't last long, no matter how high the quality is. They're just made to evaporate quickly. Whatever the reason for why Black Opium doesn't last a long time on me, it made me decide that I'm not paying full price for a perfume that doesn't last a long time on me. So I bought the Belcam Parfums impression of Black Opium. It smells a lot like Black Opium. It smells really good. But when I layer it with Road Love by Rihanna, which is pretty much a dupe for Juicy Couture's Viva La Juicy, these two work really well. And they work well in that adding this to this doesn't really change the scent of this too much. It pretty much smells almost the same, but a little like better. It's not like this combination is so different that if I told someone I was wearing Black Opium, they would go, no, you're not. The amateur nose would probably be like, oh, okay, yeah, that smells like Black Opium. Someone who's very familiar with Black Opium will be like, no, something else is in there. I love this combination because it doesn't change that Black Opium DNA too much, but it does change the lasting power, and it just does change the projection. The Black Opium scent on its own actually does project pretty well. The problem is that the lasting power dies down for a lot of people around 2 hours. But again, I like this combination because together, the lasting power improves greatly. And if you don't have Road Love by Rihanna, but you do have Juicy Couture's Viva La Juicy, and you have Black Opium, then mix those two together because it's pretty much the same thing. I like to get the Road Love by Rihanna because it's a celebrity perfume, so it's not as expensive. Juicy Couture's Viva La Juicy doesn't last a long time either, so no, I'm not paying full price. I have another impression of a designer perfume because the designer perfume doesn't last a long time. Which one is it? It's Daisy Dream by Marc Jacobs. Daisy Dream by Marc Jacobs. It's such a boring smell to me on its own. It's not a horrible smell. It's actually a good perfume to have if you want like a safe, inoffensive perfume. I wouldn't pay full price for it because it doesn't really last that long. But as far as describing what this smells like a watery floral perfume. Not watery as in watered down. It smells like the flowers are floating in water and you can smell the water even though technically water doesn't have a smell. But whatever it is you're tasting or feeling when you drink water, you feel like you smell that in this perfume, but with some flowers added to that. So again, a watery floral combination and an aquatic floral combination. It's pretty safe, inoffensive, wouldn't bother anybody. If I were to wear this on its own, I'd probably wear this around the house when I wasn't going anywhere and I didn't care about life. But when I combine it with Vintage Bloom by Jessica Simpson, that combination is the prettiest, most beautiful good girl scent. Not good girl as in Carolina Herrera Good Girl, which is an ironic name. Good girl as in good girl. The combination of Daisy Dream or Daisy Dream dupe with Vintage Bloom by Jessica Simpson makes you smell like the girl of your boyfriend's mother's dreams. Like a good mother has a certain girl in mind when she thinks of a girl that her son would marry. And she thinks of a good girl. You know, she thinks of someone who's going to be sweet and kind and considerate. And that's what that smells like. Vintage Bloom with Daisy Dream smells like a pretty, sweet, kind, feminine girl. It smells like when she walks into the room, you feel as if a breeze came with her. You're almost like, is she moving in slow motion? Am I the only one who sees her moving in slow motion? I feel like she's moving in slow motion. And as she's moving in slow motion to you, the breeze is bringing this scent, and you're like, it's like this cool, refreshing, but bright and zesty smell. I want to marry her. That's what that smells like. It smells like the girl who needs to have a ring on her finger, the girl who needs to be married. So if you're trying to impress his mother and smell good without smelling like you're trying to seduce her son, then wear that combination. Black Opium Nuit Blanche with Juicy Couture Gold Couture, or Viva Juicy Gold Couture. Black Opium Nuit Blanche on its own. That classic Black Opium, sweet, creamy, cafe, floral smell, but more creamy, more like a latte than a cup of black coffee with some sugar in it. Black Opium, the original Black Opium, smells like the coffee is black but it's sweetened. This smells like it's coffee with cream. It's sweetened with a flavored creamer, and the creamer is probably French vanilla creamer. That's what this smells like. And it has this, it has a biteable smell to it. If you smell like this, somebody is going to want to bite you. If they're considerate and they have good self-control, they will not bite you, but they will want to bite you. And this combination lasts a long time, and it projects so far. See my arm? Go past that. That's how far it projects. And I only know that because I've had people who were that far away from me compliment me when I'm wearing that combination. Now, after 3 or 4 hours, my nose has gone anosmic to it, and I could have sworn the perfume isn't on me anymore, but then somebody else will be like, you smell really good. Is that you? And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's me. I couldn't tell. Yeah, that's me. Alrighty, let's go on to the next one. We just bringing out all the designer perfumes that suck at lasting. But this one smells so good. Oscar de la Renta, Bella Rosa, however you say it. I took Spanish, I didn't take Italian, but I'm assuming it's Bella Rosa. Anyway, this one smells so good. It's rosy, it's patchouli, but it's a quality patchouli, not a dirty patchouli. It's fruity. I don't know if lychee is in here, but a lot of people claim that this is a dupe for Parfums de Marley's Delina. But I'm gonna tell you what it's not a dupe for. It doesn't dupe Delina's lasting power. I haven't smelled Delina, but all of the reviews I've read say it lasts like crazy. Like the projection is beastly and the lasting power is intense. That's not the case with this. Here it comes. The lasting power is trash. It's trash. This is trash as far as the lasting power. Like, I'm so glad I only paid $10 for this. I first smelled this at the department store counter, smelled it on the car, and I was like, oh, that smells so good. If I ever get a chance to get it, I will. And then I went to Ross Dress for Less and I saw it for $10 and I was like, I'm getting it. Then I wore it and I was like, what the heck, Oscar de la Renta? Where did she go? The lasting power was bad. To the point where this was moved to my declutter box. I was like, I'm gonna give this away. I'm gonna find someone who can enjoy this or take it to the thrift store. And then I sprayed this first and sprayed that on top. And by this, I mean Love Potion from Be Layered, which is a dupe of Carolina Herrera's Good Girl. When I sprayed this first and then sprayed this on top of it, the smell is trouble. I'm just smelling myself and I want to hug myself. I kind of did hug myself. But it smells so good. It smells so delicious. It smells so feminine. It smells womanly without smelling old-fashioned, I guess. It smells like, okay, I already mentioned the combination. It smells like what you should wear to meet his mother. This is what you wear after you're already married and you can be hanging out with his mother, but you're married. Mama knows what's up. She know what y'all do. She ain't got to picture it, but she know what's up. Especially if she the same mama that's been like, when I'm getting some grandbabies, we working on it. This smells like we working on it, okay? Them grandbabies coming. Don't you worry about it. Anyway, don't wear that if you want your man to leave you alone. If you're married and you just want to spend the day or the night in your pajamas with a hair wrap on, walking around the house being generally left alone, that ain't what you're supposed to wear. You can wear Daisy Train by herself for that. That's what you could do if you want to be kind of ignored and left alone. Like you don't want to repulse your man, but you kind of just want him to leave you alone for a little bit or not be that fascinated with you. Wear Daisy Train. Don't wear the combination of Good Girl by Carolyn Herrera with Oscar de la Renta's Bella Rosa, or in my case, Love Potion, which is a dupe for Good Girl with Bella Rosa by Oscar de la Renta. Okay, last but not least, we're at the end and you're still here with me. How many of you still here with me? Coco Emotion Hydrante pour le corps. I said that all wrong. I ain't take French. But anyway, this is the moisturizing body lotion in the scent of Coco by Chanel. I bought this with the purpose of layering it with perfumes. And the perfume I usually layer it with is Hanae by Hanae Mori. Or this is one of the perfumes I layer it with, Hanae by Hanae Mori. But today, I wanted to try it with No. 5 Eau Premiere by Chanel. So I put that body lotion on, I sprayed this on top, and it was a very Chanel smell. Very sophisticated, classy, ladylike, maternal smell. And I was good with that for about 4 hours. But then I was like, alrighty, ready to amp it up. Ready to take it to the next level of Viva. And I decided to do that by spraying Hanae by Hanae Mori on top. And let me tell you, that did the job. I wanted Viva and that did it. So basically with Coco, you have a balmy, spicy smell. And then with Chanel No. 5 Eau Premiere, you have a powdery, floral smell. And then with Hanae by Hanae Mori, you have a patchouli, fruity smell that a lot of people say is reminiscent of Flower Bomb by Viktor and Rolf. All of those together, let me summarize or relist those adjectives that I just gave you, because that combination is all of those things. That combination is balmy, spicy, floral, powdery, patchouli-ish, and fruity. And it works. It's not all of those things in a it's too much type of way. It's all of those things in a beautiful way. The combination is lovely, it's amazing, and it lasts all day. If I had known about this combination yesterday, I would have added it to my video that I just did on 5 sexy date night perfumes. That combination would have been at the end. It's like an honorable mention since it's not a singular perfume, but a combination of perfumes.